No matter what you hear in there, no matter how cruelly I beg you, no matter how terribly I may scream, do not open this door or you will undo everything I've worked for. Do you understand? Do not open this door.
Yes, Doctor.
Let me out of here. Get me the hell out of here. What's the matter with you people? I was joking! Don't you know a joke when you hear one? Jesus Christ, get me out of here! Open this goddamn door, I'll kick your rotten heads in! Mommy!
Hello and welcome to you wherever you may be, and I hope you're having a lovely holiday. I spent the first couple of weeks deep in maintenance work and I completed that project. At the beginning I was working beautifully, the mind, the body and the spirit together, just as Gurdjieff had described. By the end of it, it was bloodied fists and grueling my way to the end. And now I am on holiday. I've got the usual set of readings from Mr. Gurdjieff, and I'm sure there's plenty to talk about as well. I was not talking of people at all. They are going nowhere, and for them there are no sins. Sins are those that keep you in one place when you wish to move to a new world. What the world does not understand is that pleasure is an attribute of paradise and that it must be earned. And this is necessary, not by reason of any arbitrary or immoral laws, but because if man gets pleasure before he has earned it, he will not be able to keep it, and then pleasure will be turned into suffering. The whole point is to be able to get pleasure and be able to keep it. Whoever can do this has nothing to learn. But the way to it lies through suffering. Whoever thinks that as he is, he can avail himself of pleasure is much mistaken. And if he is capable of being sincere with himself, then the moment will come when he will see this. Now immediately we see here that the notion that the fourth way is about not being negative cannot be correct. And if you know how many people have chosen to interpret Gurdjieff's teachings in that way, you realize that the path is indeed narrow. And paths do exist on this planet. Methods do exist, but how many actually do them? I question these days how many people have really achieved the goal of the path. Out of boredom, I was reading a little bit of Aleister Crowley's autobiography. At the moment, he's in Mexico, visiting various people. For instance, he says that the rituals, the magical rituals that he is doing, have some kind of effect, and he sees changes around of him. But is that really the path? I don't think so. It's something that Western people do. In the East, they are more concerned with changing the body. That's why they perform those yogic methods and Tai Chi. It's moving the body, trying to raise the body itself to a much finer level of ability. The body must reach a much higher level of ability, and then the feelings, and then the mind, the consciousness. That is the sequence of real development, of not cheating, of not trying to magic up something, but actually beginning with your hands. Like I said at the beginning, when I began the work that I did, as I described, I worked very carefully and beautifully with a plan together, mind, the body following, and the spirit in the right place, and everything really went very nicely. But that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning. There were unexpected difficulties, and by the end of it, I was grueling my way through it, meaning that I was using my body at a much lower level. Yes, things were being done, but not very beautifully. And actually, all of human life is like that. People do things, and people get paid, but the connection between the three centers, the intellect, the body, meaning the moving center, and the spirit, is not very good at all. And it's not easy to learn how to do that. Most of modern life is not three centers, is not connected together. Now here's something interesting. If you watch conversations together, do people really listen or feel what is being said from the other person? One person talks, another person talks, another person talks, another person talks. It's almost always do, meaning they each begin again. They do not connect the energy. They do not feel from one to another. They do not connect the thought line in the conversation. The major thing, of course, is what we call the false self, meaning all that noise in the head, all those difficulties that we are burdened with that leave a mark, that are etched inside our functioning. And because of that, because of the burden of the false self that most modern people have, what do we look for in others? We look actually for relief. And it is not frequently that we get to really connect as souls. The other thing is that the false self is not really false. The fact that human beings talk like that means that their understanding is quite limited. We each hear a unique set of voices and feelings and trends and habits and events inside of us. It is unique to us. Other people have got other stuff that they are listening to, whether they like it or not, but it is unique to them. Therefore, you know that whether it is false or real, it is part of you and not part of other people. Gurdjieff talks about our suffering here. What is our suffering? It is parts of us that are not perfected. The way to our salvation certainly lies through the field of our suffering, because the suffering is simply the name given to the parts of us that are not perfected. There is much work to do. Different societies that have existed actually produce different kinds of energy. For instance, in the Renaissance, what is the European Renaissance? It is a type of energy that streamed out of this particular civilization at a particular time. Today, a sort of modern American energy is flowing over the world. In these different eras, the way people are functioning inside is quite different. Let's hear Gurdjieff talk about it a bit. The evolution of man is the evolution of his consciousness, and consciousness cannot evolve unconsciously. The evolution of man is the evolution of his will, and his will cannot evolve involuntarily. The evolution of man is the evolution of his power of doing, and doing cannot be the result of things which just happen. People do not know what man is. They have to do with a sophisticated machine, far more sophisticated than a railway engine, a motor car, or an aeroplane. But they know nothing, or almost nothing, about the construction, working, or possibilities of this sophisticated machine. They do not even understand its simplest functions, because they do not know the purpose of these functions. They vaguely imagine that a man should learn to control his machine. Everybody understands this in relation to a motor car or an aeroplane, but it is very rarely that anyone takes this into account in relation to man in general or to himself in particular. It is considered right and legitimate to think that nature has given man the necessary knowledge of his own machine, and yet men understand that an instinctive knowledge of the machine is by no means enough. Why do they study medicine and make use of medicine? Because, of course, they realize they do not know their machine. But they do not suspect that it can be known much better than modern science knows it. They do not suspect that then it would be possible to get a quite different work out of it. A quite different life out of it, a quite different culture out of it, a quite different type of civilization. In fact, civilization, an ordered civilization, is when things have started to connect inside. And there is a particular light, a particular meaning that is flowing out. There is a spirit that is flowing through the people, and that spirit comes out again through their hands, through their writings, and through their love. I was reading something from a British guy who said that when he was young, his dad taught him to swim by throwing him in a swimming pool, and that's how he learned instantly. That would be considered quite cruel today. But the thing is that if your dad throws you into a swimming pool, you don't have the chance to think and talk and tell your bloody story. You just have to do it, trusting that you can do it. And maybe you can. And maybe there are many things that you can do, except that that story has been encouraged too much. I know there are some times when my mind is not in a particularly good state and I'm trying to sort of counsel it. Meanwhile, while all this drama is going on, I have to actually organize stuff, so my body is busy actually organizing stuff while this nonsense is going on in my head. Strange, isn't it? My body can certainly do some pretty damn good work, even without the participation of whatever that thing is that's going on upstairs. I'll read something from Rob Couture's book, Paris, 1944. Mr. Gurdjieff, can I ask you a question? My opposite, because he is my opposite. Have you noticed? He's sitting across from me. He's the one to speak. You must know that he's fixed in me. I can tell he is my future brother before I hear his question. Try to understand. He goes into group number 7. So write that. He goes into group 7. And now, the official part is over. Ask your question. When I was a child, I was very fearful, and for 2 months that I have been working and trying to remember myself, I have rediscovered these childhood fears. It agitates me a lot, weakens me, and I don't know how to struggle against this. These are the things of a child that have awakened. I am happy for you. You haven't been desalted since your childhood. You have gone through the things of life, your French life, without being spoiled by them. You are desalinated externally, but internally you are not desalinated. I am happy for it. Something can be expected from him. He doesn't have a lot of things in him, or rather he has them, but it will be possible to destroy them quickly. The world moves very quickly like a great storm over people's lives, and for many, they cannot hold on to anything that is really theirs. It's too difficult. Many choose to forget, and to forget holding on. Like a climber in a blizzard. It is easier for many people to simply release their grip and lose. Mankind is on a great journey, and it will require very courageous people who have many different qualities inside, fire and water, ferociousness and compassion. Those who struggle and whose amplitude increases, positive and negative. Thank you for listening. Have a nice week.